Yeah, hi Lorena, how are you? This is Melinda Roy.
Hello, Melinda. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, yes, before you start your presentation, I would like to give you a brief introduction to the audience about you. So, Lorena
Okay.
is an accomplished educator with 28 years of experience in the field, holding a degree in marketing and advertising engineering. She also boasts certifications as a trainer, coach, and speaker conferred by Maxwell Leadership. Additionally, she has undergone training to become an EST teacher and has pursued studies in socio-economic research. As a proprietor and manager of a language school and a catalyst for positive change, Lorena has collaborated with renowned international education brands as a franchise, including FISK English for 24 years and NEXT English Institute currently, where she serves both as a franchise and as the brand's commercial representative in Paraguay. Her overarching mission is to effect transformative change in individuals and organizations, empowering them to realize their fullest potential. Marina brings to bear extensive expertise in personal development, specializing in the implementation of strategies that nurture growth and resilience. That was really a great introduction. So you can occupy the stage.
Thank you very much, Melinda. It's a great honor to be tonight with you, sharing this space of development and growth in the Global Virtual Summit 2024. Today, I will be talking about a topic that I consider that is really important for our professional growth, which is networking, and specifically the secrets of successful female networking. Just a minute, I will share my screen in order to show my presentation. Okay, so just let me know in the chat if you can see the presentation, please.
Yeah, we cannot see your screen. Could you please retry?
Yeah, I've already
Yes, we
tried.
can see
So
now.
here it
Yes,
is.
yes, it's working.
Well, thank you very much. Well, so why the secrets of successful female networking? We will start with a little history of networking by understanding its meaning. So, everything started back to 1929 when Francis Carnegie developed the hypothesis of the 6 degree separation, in which, in a series of novels that he wrote called Chains, he established that we can connect to anybody in the world by a change of 6 acquaintances. This hypothesis was later in 1960 empirically supported by Stanley Milgram, making an experiment which was called, the small world. And in this experiment, he found that he could send a letter and it could reach its destination in 6 links or fewer. All the theory of 6 degrees of separation became famous in the 90s when John Guire wrote a play entitled 6 Degrees Separation, which later was made a film with the same name. And this was when all this theory became really worldwide. It got importance, no? And this is how networking started. And then with all this internet era, they started making studies and proven this theory. And nowadays, the platform with the shortest chain is LinkedIn, with only three contacts to reach anybody in the world. And why is it so important to know all this? Because if you know all this, you're going to be more aware of the power of having contacts and networking with other people. But let's see, what is networking? So, networking is not only exchanging cards or following somebody on social media, but it's building and maintaining relationship within your industry or field in order to advance in your career and to access to new opportunities. The environments in which you can develop your network would be the first and the most common one in in-person events. So this happens when you attend any conference, when you attend a seminar, workshop, or any kind of meeting in your field. Another type or environment where you can network is in virtual events like this. So, with all this virtual world that we have today, we have the opportunity to meet people all around the world. In this event, for example, we have the opportunity to meet people in the networking tables that you have available in order to get to know other people from different parts of the world, so you can share the culture, you can share some aspects and perspective of this event. We can also do network in online platforms such as LinkedIn, as I mentioned before, and also some websites of professional association. In this case, you're going to have shorter chains and fewer chains because you're dealing with your industry and within your industry or your field. And finally, and I think that this is the most important one, is the informal interaction. These are the ones that we do in our social life. And it is really important because in this kind of informal interaction is where we really establish strong bonds with our network. Now, this is about general networking, but talking about professional networking, which are the types that we can find? We can have professional networking, and this is the one that we do out of the working environment. No, that would be in any social event, which can influence our personal growth. This includes inside and outside your industry. And whenever you meet people outside your industry, is where you can have a wider perspective of your business or your profession. And finally, and the one that we're going to focus tonight, is the strategic networking. Strategic networking is the mix of personal and operational networking. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention about the operational networking. The operational networking is the one that you do in your work position with your colleagues in your department, in other department, or inside your professional field. And finally, the strategic networking, which is the mix of personal and operational networking. And this is the one that helps you develop that connections that will help you develop or growth in your professional life. All this context will lead to understand how extensive your contact of network can be and how it can help your development and your professional work. Now, let's move to which are the benefits of professional networking. First of all, we are going to get valuable insights and we're going to get a wider perspective on what is happening in our field or in our market. Besides that, when we network with people from different backgrounds, professional backgrounds, we open job, we are open to job or businesses opportunities. In this case, you know that many businesses or many support you can get from that networking that you do with other people. Finally, exclusive information from the market. This is really important and it's a competitive advantage because you can get information in advance and then you will know how you're going to act in the market or which strategy you're going to apply for that moment. Another benefit would be the mentoring relationship. So when you attend, especially on-person event, you're going to meet a lot of people who are where you want to get. And that really help you because they have or they get where you want to get. And they can make your path shorter and you can avoid mistakes and you can have valuable tips on how to work or what to do on your field. And another, and I think that these two benefits are the most important one. You get more visibility. So I think that I wouldn't be here tonight sharing this wonderful moment and this precious event if it wasn't because I have visibility on social media. So if you're visible, people will notice. I wouldn't have received the invitation if it wasn't because of my visibility. And that visibility will also enhance professional reputation, which is really important if you want to have long-term success in your profession. Now that we have set all the context of where the networking started, some definitions about networking, we're going to talk about how to overcome challenges. Now, strategic networking is really harder for women. And this is stated on some statistics about leadership and executive position of women in the world. In the world, just 23% of the leadership and executive positions are taken by women. And this is a really interesting data, is that 33% of that positions are in South America, which is, I do know that when I started doing some research for this conference, I got to know, and this is great news for me that I'm from South America. So, but which are the factors that contribute to these challenges? First of all would be the unconscious biases. So sometimes they have the misconception that some positions would be only for men and not for women. And this can lead to this disparity or imbalance when dealing with job position and executive position. Another one would be the personal and the professional obligations. So women often have to balance between work and family. If you are a woman, you know that we have to deal with the house, we have to deal with our kids, we have to deal with our professional, and sometimes we don't have enough time for everything. And that will limit our availability to participate in networking events, especially the ones that are outside our working hours or especially on weekends. And the last one, which I think that is the challenge that is harder to face, is the limited access to informal networking. So the informal interactions are really crucial when we want to establish strong bonds in our networking. And these we don't have the same access that men have. I will give you just an example. When you are in an informal meeting, or when you have a coffee meeting or outings or dinners, normally when there is all men meetings, the camaraderie would be more relaxed and open, which facilitates the creation of bonds. This would be a little different if a woman or some women are there, because there all the environment will change to a more formal one, especially because we want to keep respect. In the same way, a woman may feel a little uncomfortable if she has to deal with a male dominated meeting. This dynamic can affect the quality and the depth of the relationship formed in this environment, which is important to recognize also that most businesses contracts, and as you know, millionaire contracts are made in informal environments. So this is really, you have to be conscious about that and don't fear when you have to deal with these informal meetings. And I will give you some strategies on how you can deal with that. But first of all, I'm going to talk about a summary that can help you understand or guide your networking efforts. First of all, we're going to use this value acronym where the V will stand for visibility. So you have to be visible if you want to network. Then you have to be authentic, be genuine, and be true to yourself. So show the way that you are. Then the L will stand for learning. So you have to use this network as an opportunity to learn from people who has already gotten where you want to get. The U will stand for understanding, and this will refer to the understanding of the needs of the network contact. Then we have the empathy, that it should be present in any type of relationship. So you have to show empathy to the people that you deal with. And finally, and which is really important, is the direction that you give to your networking efforts. Remember that if you know where you want to get, you're going to get faster, and you're not going to use your energy in participating in events that you don't know if they are going to be useful for your professional networking. Now, let's move to the strategies for success. Here I will share with you some personal pictures. Then, professional networking strategies should be intentional. So you should know and you should be conscious that you want to network. Another would be that you have to build strong relationships. And here in this picture, I'm with the people that I have worked with in the franchising school for almost 30 years. And we have a really nice community that we help each other. Finally, here I'm in a picture with my mentor, Anderson Luis, who is a Brazilian mentor. And he says that we have to invest in personal networking. So we have to invest in participating in events as you're investing today to be here. And the last one, you have to offer value. So whenever you network, you should give some value to the other person, deliver value. Now, how you can apply to these strategies? First of all, as I told you, and as my mentor, Brazilian mentor says, you have to participate in events and conferences. And remember that the quality of the event or the conference will give you the quality of the contacts. Then you will have to join professional groups or associations. You will have to seek for mentors on these events and conferences that you participate in order to find some guidance for your professional growth. Use social media and professional platforms. As if you have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn would be the most professional one. And here I have something to share with you. I'm taking some courses that are global courses, and I really met a lot of people from different parts of the world. And the power of the community is incredible, because whenever you need something, you need to do something in your career, you just ask in the community and they help you. Then you also have to organize and participate in social gatherings. So don't wait until somebody invites you. Organize, invite for a dinner, for a lunch, or to have a coffee. And finally, be proactive and persistent. As I told you before, don't wait until somebody invites you. So you have to invite. Let's suppose that you met somebody in this great conference. So probably you're going to exchange social media, you start talking. So ask the person after a week, how are you doing? How did you like the conference? So all these things will enhance strong relationship and strong bonds in the relationship. Now, strategies for female networking, and this is especially for female. I don't know if there are any men on the floor, but it can also apply to you as well. So first of all, especially for we women in male-dominated environments, we have to build a strong personal brand. Highlight your skills and your expertise and stand out your achievements. Don't downplay your achievement, because this is very common. So you have to be really proud of what you could get in your career and in your life. Now, be assertive and confident. So whenever you're going to speak confidently and express your ideas clearly. Another strategy would be to set boundaries and educate on gender bias. So if you see inappropriate behavior, address it. Advocate for gender equality. Because with education, we can change the way that we network in male-dominated world. And finally, here I'm with my group of network of people that I met in the IMNC International Maxwell Conference in Mexico, Cancun last year. And you have to focus on genuine relationship. Establish meaningful relationship in order that last not only helps you in your professional life, but also you can have a friendship with that people. Now, at the end of this presentation, I can tell you that nowadays networking is an essential tool if you want to develop your career and you want to develop personally. So you have to actively search for professional networking. And don't fear that, because sometimes we don't feel sure about if we are good enough, if we are prepared enough, if we have all the skills that are necessary. As they say, we are never prepared. We just have to give the first step in order to achieve what we want. And remember that action is the one that will change your life and your profession and everything. So you need to have a goal and then take action. Well, I have finished with my presentation. I'm really thankful for your time. That, as mentor says, time is life. And here I open the floor if you have any question or answer about all my presentation. While you think about the questions and answer, I will share some of my social media on the chat. Even though you have that, if you want to follow what I'm doing, my work, all the information.
Thank you, Lorena, for the enlightening speech today.
Okay.
Sorry, you are saying something?
No, if there is any question and answer, thank for all the people who said good hello. I was really focused on the presentation. I didn't say hello.
Yeah. So we do have a question
To
from our audience.
each of you. I really want to thank for the time.
So, how has your
Okay.
long experience in education?
No questions?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
How has your long experience in
Yeah, I listen.
education?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, Lorena?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes.
How long is my experience in education?
Influenced your teaching and coaching methods?
Well, in fact, I have been working on education for almost 30 years. And in that almost 30 years of working on the field, we always use, without knowing, coaching, educational coaching, because we work one to one with the student. So in our school, a student is not just one student, it's the student with its own goals, with his own project, life project, and we usually help them through language to achieve their goals. So it was really helpful because I have been using this coaching and leadership for all my career.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. You have well answered. So, thank you so much for joining this Day One Global Virtual Summit 2024. So, today I think we have done almost all our speaker presentations have done successfully. And so, there is a last speaker who is waiting in the backstage. So the last speaker for the day, please join her session and encourage with your questions. Thank you.
Okay, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.